What's good, UHA and Pro Am community? It's your boy Lethal back. This week we're going up against Status Quo, which is featuring last year's reigning MVP Dev the Guide. But y'all already see it, man. The green shades matching the suit. You feel me? The green shades matching with the green loafers. I actually had another suit picked out, but we actually ended up getting a force win last week. We were supposed to play against Fair Gaming. You know, we'll take the win. We would have rather played. It is what it is. But I knew this week was going to be a test. But one more time, y'all see it, man. Green tie, green blazer, green loafers, green shades. I'm in there. But let's go ahead and jump into the game, man. This series, I already knew what it was going into it. Like I said, featuring the reigning MVP, their best stat says 14 steals. So you know they're going to get their hands on pretty much everything, every passing lane, every bump steal. I already knew what it was. For me, this is nothing new. For my team, this is something we haven't experienced. This is the first time we're going up against a team who's going to play full court press. Normally my team will show a press, like in certain situations I'll bring out the press, but for the most part, I like to rely on strict man-to-man defense. I feel like I'm one of the best defenders out there. And typically, when I'm guarding my man, I don't really give up a lot of points. If somebody actually can, you know, show me that they can score, I'm fine with that. I just expect my team to have my back defensively. And that's kind of what it was. We come out, first quarter, we're going to play man-to-man, just see what you got. Now, this is actually game 2. Game 1 was a very close game, lost by 3. They got a lot of steals. So this was time to make adjustments. One thing about me putting out these videos so everybody know, if you beat us, you beat us. If we beat y'all, we beat y'all. I'm not gonna really come on these videos and try to like talk down on anybody, like badmouth my team or badmouth another man's team. It is what it is. We're just all out here trying to be competitive. So if you beat us, of course I'm still put up a video. Why would I not? It's content at the end of the day. A lot of people think like just because like, if you watch any of my other content, I'm winning most of the time, like 3v3, 1v1, online. Those are things I can pretty much control by myself. This is why I like 5v5. I have to depend on my teammates to try to accomplish what I'm trying to put out there. So I'm always put out the video, win, lose, or draw. With that being said, we got swept. We got swept. Now, leading into this, I'm not going to say it's kind of dysfunction on my team's part, but it was just some conversations being had in our team about, you know, certain people playing and things of that nature. And one thing that was said, I'm not going to say about who or anything like that, but one thing was said was, could my team actually play without me, you know, in a game in the tier 1 bracket? Could my team play without me? And I told my team straight up, you know, I don't really like to sugarcoat too much. I told them, there's no chance in hell y'all gonna beat any teams without me. That's what I told them, straight up. I was just being honest. I have seen this level of competition before. I played on some pretty elite Pro-Am teams over the years. And I know when you start playing top level competition, what it looks like. And the way this is set up, I get it, it's 2 tiers, but just because a team may look easy in your in tier 1 does not mean they don't deserve the respect that they can actually beat you. Because from what I've seen, every team is pretty much capable of generating an upset here and there. If 2K can just go the other team's way for a couple of games, it happens. You know, like, I felt like these 2 games we played, I mean, shout out to Status Quo, but they just did a great job. They literally got their hands on every 50-50 possibility. There's nothing we can do about that. We can't control that. And like I said, this is the first time we ever went up against full court pressure. So now I know what I need to go over with my team with. One thing major though, I need to talk about spacing. Our spacing was, for the most part, it was good, but the times where we're turning the ball over is just really bad spacing. Like I said, they just got their hands on every passing lane. Their hands were always up. They was always active, and it's like we just could not get the same love from 2K. And through both games, I actually felt like we did a great job defending the other team's point guard for the most part. It's just, when it comes to playing, like, you have to make plays on the defensive end. And the team that can rebound really well or make those plays on the defensive end really well is typically going to come out victorious at the end of a series. I've seen it happen. I've seen a team that I saw was better lose because they lost the rebounding battle. I've seen it. It happens. But nonetheless, it's all good vibes over here. So now that I know what we need to work on, it's just going to come down to how bad, the wins and losses, especially the losses, affect the team. Because like I said, I notice when we win, we're on a good high. We feel like we can beat everybody. We playing against other teams, smacking them. And we feel good, especially if we come off a series win, we feel pretty good. But when we lose, that's what gets everybody wondering. That's what gets everybody guessing. So now I got to kind of wait a day. We don't have another game scheduled till Wednesday. So I have to wait a day just to see how my team kind of responds. If we come back in here and you see people with different builds, that's going to be around the time where I just start getting really frustrated and pissed off. And that's typically the time where Lethal Team typically gets about the lead. I'm looking at this game. It's not by any particular builds or anything. It just comes down to execution. Did we do a good job breaking the press? No. We have rules with this team. One of the rules being I'm allowed 5 turnovers. I hate turning the ball over at any capacity, and this is how good I've gotten. There's only 2 ways I'm really going to turn over the ball. The third way, it is what it is. I can't do nothing about it. But 2 ways I'm going to turn the ball over. One, if I hit the wrong icon. It happens. Sometimes I see a person or I think it's that person. I hit the wrong icon. And because that happens, I end up turning the ball over. The other way is when the spacing is off. All right, so the spots on the floor, obviously the 2 corners, we play a 5 out. And the 2 spots right in front of the hash marks on the wing. And obviously the middle or the top of the key. So if somebody is like too low, right by, if you look at Savage right now, he's not by the hash mark like Montage is. That throws off spacing. And again, you look at that left wing, that's where my turnover comes from. The spacing just being off. I don't blame anybody. Sometimes it's just lack of experience. Sometimes you just get caught up in the moment and ain't paying attention to like where you're actually at on the floor. But sometimes it really does just come down to the littlest things that make that much of a difference. I have to teach my team now to break a press, you got to get the ball to the middle of the floor. And that's on me. This is not something I really communicated with my team because for the most part, we never ran against this issue. And honestly, in years past, when we have gone against this issue, I had teammates where we actually practiced it. So I thought this was already communicated. I'm just now realizing how new of a cast we have, and I'll be better. I need to coach better. And that's part of me is just doing something I don't want to do, and that's just putting the time back into coaching up the team. It's necessary, especially if we're trying to win money. Do I feel like doing it at this point? It's been a lot of 2Ks. I honestly just don't care to do it. So I'm gonna give them a little bit of advice. If they take it, cool. If they don't, cool. My biggest goal at the end of this season is if we can just finish out the season. That's an accomplishment. From what I've seen, there's not a team in this league that we can't beat. And I'm pretty sure all tier 1 teams feel as though. All right, there's not a single tier 1 team that can't beat the other tier 1 team. It literally comes down to execution. That's all it is, it's just execution. So we at this point in the game, it's about to come up to halftime. So what I told my team was at halftime, we're gonna play 2-1-2 press for the rest of the game. This is probably something I should have went to early, but at the same time, I really wanted to see if my team could actually play some good man-to-man defense. Now, we played a couple of warm-up games before this. Team looked amazing. Of course, we was playing worse for teams, but the activity level on defense was amazing. Everybody was reaching. You know, everybody was locked in, trying to make something happen. But look at this. They are literally playing hot potato with the basketball, and I don't know what my team was doing. I don't know how you can pass the ball back and forth to the same man 3 or 4 times in a row, and they get a 3 out of it. Not to mention, I'm gonna say it because, like I said, I want to keepers out there. I feel like my co-captain in this particular game, this closeout game, he kind of quit on us. All right, he didn't quit in the sense that he quit the game and didn't finish out the game. That's one thing I do respect. My team definitely finished out this game, especially when it got bad, as y'all can see the score. I ain't gonna lie, they was whooping our ass. It is what it is, but I felt like he quit in the sense that he didn't continue to follow the strategy. Especially we had a chance in the second, especially in this third quarter. Status quo, they started trolling the fuck out of us. You know, blatantly flopping, not really engaged offensively. I'm pretty sure they was having a good laugh in their Twitch stream. But that was the opportunity to actually make a game out of it. And I felt like my co-captain, I think the frustration got to him because, I have never seen him turn over the ball so much. So if it's ever a thought of, could my team play without me, I think a game like this should have answered that question. The first game I had more turnovers, but like I said, we lost by 3. And it's fine if I'm the one turning the ball over because I'm the one that handles the ball the most. That's why I'm allowed 5. Everybody else on the team, they're allowed 1 turnover. So, and we have rules in the chat that if everybody just follow along and see what I'm saying, they'll understand why these things are the way they are. Another rule, if the point guard scores 30 points and has 10 assists, we lost the game. It's never failed. One thing I'm learning about that, I'm letting my team know, that point guard can score as much as he wants to as long as his teammates ain't get involved. So the one thing I'm going to start practicing is, if we go against these guards, I'm going to let the center have as many points as he wants. And we're just going to try to win the game offensively. There's a lot of strategies to this, but we all have to do our part to make it work. You know, we have different rules and different things set in place for specific reasons. A game like this should have showed why. All right, like you see, the teams just start strolling, but what did we do? We kept turning the ball over. And here it is again, they just playing hot potato back and forth. That, they didn't even respect us. And then for some reason, every time they did that, they got a 3 out of it. It pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it pissed me the fuck off. But what could you really do? And even as we continually turn the ball over, even as all this was happening, for the most part, I appreciate my team because I was able to remain calm. I'm not saying I expected to lose or expected, I expected this team to be good, but obviously I just felt like we played it probably as good as we could have played it. So I wasn't even mad. You know, like if we could cut down a few turnovers, we probably could have won at least one game in the series. And that's the only downfall of the team right now. It's like if we play a series, I at least should feel like we should be able to make it to a third game, even if the other team is better. You know, like I said, I don't see a team in here that we can't beat. And the bad part is, I feel like even if we matched up against them just regular, like if they just popped them on the screen and we played, my team would play totally different. You know, the effort defensively would be there. You know, they would kind of see that it's a good team or whatever, but the activity level is way different. And I don't know why my team is like that. It's like when we come to this league, just don't lock in as much. But with that being said, I plan for this to be the last series that we lose. I look forward to us getting to the playoffs. Right now, looks kind of bleak. I believe we're 3-3 on the season, or if you get 2 games for every win, this is our 4th week. Whatever it is, we're 500 on the season. And I believe between this series right here that we got our ass whooped and the next series, those will probably be like the toughest teams we would have had to play throughout the season. One thing I need my team to also keep in mind is we made tier 1, but we was one of the last teams in for tier 1. It's a reason for that. That preseason tournament did what it was supposed to do. It weeded out the better half from the weaker half, you know? And honestly, we was in contention to be in the weaker half. I'm pretty sure if we was in tier 2, we'd look like a phenomenal team talking shit like we should be in tier 1. But as you can see, when we get to tier 1, this is what we're looking like. And I hold myself accountable. I hold myself to a high standard because I'm the team captain and I still feel like I'm an MVP candidate. At this point in the season, though, I'm pretty sure either somebody from Smoke Check, somebody from Bulletproof, or somebody from Box Office probably really deserve that award, especially if they can continue on the trajectory that they're on. Box Office looks phenomenal. The point guard, Ace, he's probably like would be my pick. Like if I had a vote, that would probably be my pick just because the team is still undefeated and he's doing his job carrying them through these games. The team I like the most out of this league right now is Smoke Check, just because I feel like they are highly locked in. They all really are going after something special this season. Another one of my favorite teams is Magic Gaming. I feel like they're good. I feel like their point guard is like really good, but I don't know, man. That series against Bulletproof, out of Magic and Frost, I felt like Magic was the better point guard, although Frost, I ain't gonna lie, he just did his thing that entire series. But I do feel like the better point guard was Magic. So, I don't know, man. It's gonna be a very interesting coming down the stretch of this season. I'm enjoying watching all the streams and everything. I'm enjoying all the competitiveness. The chat, I ain't gonna lie, I had a couple of tough days and the chat definitely uplifted my spirits. So I'm very thankful to be in this league. Like I said, win, lose, or draw. You know, this has been amazing for me, good experience. As you kind of notice in this 4th quarter, my team started to make a comeback, and the thing that got to me was I thought this was the 3rd quarter that we were gonna have. To be honest with you, I felt like in that third quarter, once we switched to this full court press, that we could have chopped the lead at least down to like 8 or 9. And then by the time we got into this fourth quarter, like we would have really made this a game. And I think all that joking and playing around that the other team had did, like right here, that was a big turnover. But I felt like we had them, honestly. One thing we talked about was possibly pressing full court, but one thing I'm looking at, I'm not saying we got to make every big shot, but I'm trying to put my team in position as best I can so that the game doesn't come down to these big moments or you happen to make that big shot. And the only way to do that is execution through the first 3 quarters. Right? What I call a cool dub is pretty much a park win, all right? I call it a cool dub, where you score 20 points and the other team doesn't get the 20. So every quarter that you can get a cool dub in, the better. So when you look at the chart at the end of the game, the team that pretty much did that the most typically wins the game. So my thing is now I want to keep teams at about 15 points per quarter. And that'll tell me like how good a defense we're playing. If we can hold them to 15 every single quarter, we're doing something right. So if we can't do that, that means I need to switch up the defense or just continually try something different. I'm gonna play with the personnel, but that means I have to get back to grinding. I have to get back into the park with my guys. Right there, another big shot, man. But it happens. You know, a couple more shots go in. You know, just a couple of more made plays through the game. We could have came away with this one. Ain't gonna lie, this one's gonna sting. And we have to move past it and get ready for Bulletproof on Wednesday. I believe we slotted for 9 o'clock. If you've been watching or trying to watch any of these games, just Montage Gaming on Facebook. That's where you can go watch Lethal Team play. If you don't know how to spell it, it'll be on the court somewhere. If you're trying to watch any more of my content, it's just Lethal Mindset, YouTube. There it is, Montage Gaming, Facebook on the back baseline. So, hey man, we locked into it. I've been enjoying also making the content as well. I love putting on the suits and coming out, making good content. And I'm just at a point now where this has to come with some wins. I can't keep putting on these suits and looking pathetic out here. You know, they say you look good, play good. I feel like I look good, but... And I ain't even saying I'm playing bad. We gotta just come away with some wins, though. You know, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to pull out some of these games. Especially with the way teams are, like, they kind of sleeping on us a little bit. You know, like, the next time a team trolls me like this, you know, like, my team should be just as mad about it as I am. Man, I ain't gonna lie, this is a tough one, y'all. I'm gonna be thinking about this one for a minute. Man. But anyway, it was a good test for us, good experience. Some exposure, you know, I kind of know how this team plays. So next time we play, we'll be more prepared to break the press, and we'll be ready. I think at this point now, we've pretty much seen everything we need to see. All I have to do now is coach everybody up to be ready to play team games and series. That's all I got to do now. It's not as big of a grind as I thought it was going to be. I actually expected us to be a little worse than what I've seen. I'm just being honest, but now that I know how good we can be, it's on, man. Gotta get that dub at the end of the day. But thank y'all for watching today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed the content. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hit that like button. That's what really make me happy. Just please hit the like button. That's how more people watch it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.